And hello again, everybody. It is Mailbag Monday for the 3rd of March, 2014. Welcome back to SFF180, TMW here as always. I hope you guys have had a really good weekend. So have I. It's been a busy one. I've been, finishing up that certain big fat book. But that's not going to stop me from the mailbag. I think about 10 items this week. As you see, it's a huge stack that's very slippy slidey, so I don't dare hold it all up at once. So we're just gonna get started, shall we? A couple of quick announcements first. Past 200 subs this week. Thank you, everyone. That's great. Let's see how quickly we can get it to 3, shall we? Also, I have a couple more collabs coming up. Some team-up videos, buddy reads, whatever you might want to call them, later on this month and into April. I'll be collaborating with Nicole, another booktuber, science fiction reader that I've met here online. Her channel is Nicole's Adventures in Science Fiction. I'll link it below. We're going to do a team-up review later on this month, maybe a second half of the month. And then I have been talking once again to Sarah Chorn about doing another one maybe in April, and I've been trying to tie up a few other guys. It's just a matter of scheduling and all that, but there'll be more team-ups coming. But for the most part, I'm going to just keep the regular reviews coming as well. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and see what is in the pile, shall we? Okay, so this first one is from Prometheus, so a new Pyre release. Let's see what it is. Okay, this is a novel called The Leopard. It's by K.V. Johansson, or Johansson perhaps. This is the first volume in a new series called Marikand. And Johansson had a debut novel from Pyre about a year or so ago called Black Dog. And this appears to be perhaps a new series set in the same universe as that one. So let's have a look and see if that's true. Okay, this book comes out June the 10th. Ajvar, the assassin known as the Leopard, wants only to die to end the curse that binds him to a life of horror. Although he has no reason to trust the goddess, a long complicated name, or her messenger Deandara, fugitive heir to a murdered tribal queen, desperation leads him to accept her bargain. If he kills the mad prophet known as the Voice of Marikand, this goddess will free him of his curse. Accompanying him on his mission is the one person he has let close to him in a lifetime of death, a runaway slave named Gu. Aj knows Gu is far from the half-wit others think him, but in Marikand, the great city where the caravan roads of East and West meet, both will need to face the deepest secrets of their souls if either is to survive, the undying enemies who hunt them, and find a way through the darkness that damns the leopard. Alrighty then. Well, here we go. This is coming out, once again, from Pyre in June the 10th. Now, once again, for the benefit of new viewers and new subs, people who are new to the channel, in Mailbag Monday, these are the review copies that I receive every week from publishers. And so I open them up here. This is the first time I've seen them, so you see them the same time I do. And in the comments, you get to tell me which of these you find most interesting, which ones you think you'd like me to prioritize in the review queue, which ones you would like to know more about. This is a package from Macmillan, and judging by its size, I'm guessing this is a new audiobook. So we'll see. It is a new audiobook, and it's not my sort of thing, nothing I would review at my site, but if you're a fan of The Walking Dead, then this is Fall of the Governor Part 2, the 4th book in a... So it's Fall of the Governor Part 2, but it's the 4th book in a Walking Dead book series, apparently, and this is the audiobook version. So if you're into this, this is out, so enjoy. All right, this is another Macmillan title, looks like a big old tour book. Okay, well, this is The Raven's Shadow. It is the 3rd book in a trilogy, or maybe a longer series, I don't know, called The Wild Hunt. It's by Elspeth Cooper. I've had my eye on this for quite a while, but, you know, with one thing, my schedule leading to another, as it usually does, I still haven't gotten around to them, but now that the whole series is here, perhaps I can pursue these, because I really do like the look of them. Raven's Shadow is the 3rd book. In fact, if I just reach right here, this is the first one, Songs of the Earth, and then I believe I have the 2nd book somewhere in yet to be shelved stack over there. So anyway, The Raven's Shadow by Elspeth Cooper is now in hardcover from Tor, so let me know. I'm sure some of you out there have at least read one of these, Songs of the Earth if nothing else, so let me know what you think. But this is out from Tor. Boy, space in this room is really getting to be a premium. Got to start shelving here, Thomas. Alrighty then, this little package right here is from HarperCollins. It looks like a small book in a big envelope. Well, this looks kind of interesting. It's something called Bird Box. The author is Josh Mallerman. It is due to release May the 14th or 13th, depending on which sticker you look at. And this front cover blurb here seems to indicate that Hugh Howey thinks rather highly of it, so let's see what it's all about. Okay, well, it looks like horror, which is not necessarily something for my site, you know, an SF fantasy guy, but it does sound pretty interesting. Something is out there, it says. Something terrifying that must not be seen. One glimpse and a person is driven to deadly violence. No one knows what it is or where it came from. When the world began to unravel, Mallory joined a motley group of strangers who banded together against the unseen terror in an effort to create order from the chaos. But when supplies ran low, they were forced to venture outside and confront the ultimate question in a world gone mad: who can really be trusted? Okay, well, it doesn't sound like, you know, it's a big fount of original ideas here, but it's all in the execution, these things, especially in horror. So this, again, it's not quite zombie fiction, but it seems like it is, you know, genetically very similar, right? You know, madness outside, people are going crazy, we don't understand it, we're boarded up inside here, but we have to survive, blah, blah, blah. Now, again, I don't review horror at sfreviews.net. Or here, but I do like horror. I mean, I am a horror fan personally. I like Stephen King and Joe Hill, you know, and that sort of thing. And you know, so if this looks like it's your cup of tea, Bird Box by Josh Mallerman comes out May the 14th. And here's another book from HarperCollins. Okay, this looks like another example of the kind of urban fantasy that I'm not really into myself, but a new book by Vicki Peterson, who has done several of these now. This appears to be the latest in a series of hers that she's had going on. This book is called The Given. Okay, this is the final novel in the acclaimed Celestial Blues series, it says, by Vicki Peterson. Thrilling saga of a fallen angel, private eye, and spirited rockabilly reporter battling against all odds in Sin City. Earlier volumes apparently are The Lost, The Taken, maybe there have been more. But anyway, The Given. This is coming out 27th of May. And this is another bundle from FSG. Okay, everybody, this is exciting. My review of Annihilation here on SFF180 is the second most viewed video I've done. And here is now the second book in ARC form. This is due May the 6th. Authority is the second volume in the Southern Reach trilogy. Annihilation being an extremely eerie, very haunting Odyssey narrative about a changed landscape, both changes taking place in the outer landscape, the environment, going through transition, and then transitions within the characters themselves. Very interesting book. And now the sequel, Authority. I'm going to try to get on this one very, very quickly because you all responded extremely well to my Annihilation review, which I will link here. So here we are. The series continues. I wonder what mysteries this one will hold. That book was thicker than Annihilation, considerably, by the way. Okay, hello, Tor. Look what we have again. It's the lovely, 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 lovely vacuum seal monster packages. Oh well, what can you do? Be back in a minute. Okay, everyone, this is third in a series by John C. Wright, the first two of which I have, and the first of which I started about a year or so ago, and then had to quit. Again, work-related interference in my life. But the first books were Count to a Trillion and The Hermetic Millennia. We now have The Judge of Ages. If you would like for me to pursue this trilogy, let me know. If any of you have read any of the books in this trilogy, also please let me know. But this book is out now from Tor in hardcover, The Judge of Ages, the third book in a series that doesn't appear to have a series name. So we'll just say the Count to a Trillion series. And as always, to all the wonderful publicists I work with, thank you for sending the books. Back to more tearing of envelopes. See, I want to thank them before I complain about their packaging. It's decorum, it's polite. Okay, and here is another new Tor hardcover title that is in the stores right now. So this is the one that they're getting to me a little bit late, but that's fine because I have a ton on my plate at the moment. This is by William Fortune. Pillar to the Sky, which they are calling a compelling vision of a bold new future. Let us see what it is all about. Well, this is a NASA-inspired work of fiction. Now, what that means, because of course I'm sure that you know, hard SF writers have been doing their research for many decades now, but as I understand it, Fortune worked directly with NASA or representatives of NASA or something to put this story together. So let's see. Tor Forge Books is thrilled to present the first NASA-inspired work of fiction. That's all capitalized for some reason, like it's its own category. Pillar to the Sky. As the United States faces the worst deficit in the nation's history, well, this isn't going to be politically loaded, is it? Environmental crises are becoming an all-too-real threat. Another oil crisis has pushed the price of oil over $150 a barrel, and war is once again brewing in the Middle East. Two of NASA's scientists are on a mission to solve the ever-increasing problems of the 21st century. So the characters, the astrophysicist. They have been working on a project to create a space elevator that would reach from the equator to geosynchronous orbit 23,000 miles above the Earth, which I believe was dealt with 30-some-odd years ago by Arthur C. Clarke in Fountains of Paradise, but we'll keep going. This Pillar to the Sky, as it's been dubbed, has the potential to open up the universe for all humanity, offering limitless energy and resources that will transform the world. All right, but their journey to the heavens will not be easy. There are those who don't want Gary and Ava to succeed, and they face a tumultuous struggle filled with violence and heroism, love and death, spellbinding beauty, and heartbreaking betrayal. Humanity's salvation hangs in the balance, and the stakes could not be higher. Okay, again, what I suspect we're going to get here is some ripped from the headlines space adventuring with probably more than a tiny bit of political, soapboxing and tub thumping involved, but we'll see. On the other hand, it could just be a really, really terrific adventure and may not have any of that in there. Pillars to the Sky from Tor by William Fortune is on the racks right now. Yeah, and if writers want to put their politics in their books, that's fine, but it's just, okay. This is the final package now from the Hachette Book Group. You guys really have no idea just how many minutes of footage I cut out of me just tearing these envelopes open. Well, here we go. Hello. Remember last week, the Fell Sword? Well, Orbit has now sent me the American edition, so I now have both editions. Let me get the other one here. Okay, so American Fell Sword and UK Fell Sword. This one came in last week, so here you go. But the general message is Miles Cameron's second volume in his The Traitor Son cycle of epic fantasies has now been released. And all right, everybody, that's all the mailbag has to reveal this week. Thank you very much for joining me once again. As always, leave a like in the video if you enjoy watching. In the comments, tell me which of the newest arrivals look most intriguing to you. Share the video, and above all, subscribe if you have not done so, and get all of your SFF reading friends to do so as well, because we are on our way now to 300, the next threshold to cross. Thank you very much, once again, as always, and be here tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. That is when my review of Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson goes live right here on the channel. And one of the biggest epic fantasy releases, if not the biggest epic fantasy release of the year. Will it live up to expectations? Depending on what your expectations were, we'll find out. That's tomorrow morning, 9 Eastern, 8 Central, right here on the channel. So until I see all of you next time, happy reading.